SRT gang. Yes, your boy with the fat SwaggyReacts, and we are back with another reaction video, man. And we about to check out Twisted Minds. Now I know it's been a smooth little minute since we did Twisted Minds, and I know y'all like what I really enjoy, again, like these type of videos, man. And I definitely want to go ahead and just give you guys another banger, bro. Like, just shouts out again to Twisted Minds, man. Today we're gonna be checking out the 12-year-old killers, bro. Now we already know, like, I mean, there's some crazy kids out here, especially with this generation, whatever. Like nowadays, bro, like they don't believe in fighting and none of that, bro. Like they just completely believe in shooting, bro. Like none of that. Me growing up, we grew up all fighting. Like, know what I'm saying? We got a problem with somebody, like, we go handle it out in the street like men. Nowadays, nah, like, I mean, they ain't with all that. Like, the second you just try to argue with them, like, they ready to shoot you, bro. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, bro. But, like, this is what we're gonna be checking out, man. Shouts out again to Twisted Minds, man. We back on the Twisted Minds journey, bro. So like, share, comment, subscribe. Like, let me know what videos you guys would like me to check out after this one, bro. Cause I got a feeling this was about to be crazy. 12-year-old killers. All right, man. I mean, let's get into it, yo.
At this point, we've seen enough juvenile criminal cases to understand that children and teenagers are entirely capable of diabolical, violent actions. In the same way, we've also seen enough juvenile and adult criminal cases to understand that the environment and circumstances surrounding one's upbringing often play an important role in the kind of life they can go on to live and the activities they carry out. These two realities found their intersection in the case of Catherine and Curtis Jones. The siblings, who were 13 and 12 at the time of the conviction, had endured a myriad of abnormalities in their formative years. These experiences...
Wait. Where's this look at these kids, bro?
Of abnormal...
13 and 12 years old, bro. It's crazy, bro.
In their formative years. These experiences led them to a place of meticulously plotting the annihilation of their primary and perceived accomplice oppressors. Welcome back to Twisted Minds. My name is James, and today we will be taking a look at the previously unknown story of the youngest convicted.
But like, is that them now? Compared to, wow, bro, this is crazy. They are grown as hell right now, bro. Like, this is crazy.
Adult murderer, Catherine and Curtis Jones. Want to know what kind of experiences they were subjected to at the time that led them to a place of violence at such a young age? Or are you interested in finding out how these two ended up being the youngest adult criminals? Keep watching to have these questions and many more answered.
Let's go, man. Let's get into it. This is crazy, bro.
The exact date of Catherine's birth is uncertain, but she was born in 1985 to her parents, Curtis Jones and Stacy Parks. While this seemed to be the start of something beautiful, underneath was a gory reality that the Jones couple had been living in. According to Stacy, she had been enduring physical abuse from Curtis since just after the pair began dating. The abuse was so bad that one of Curtis's violent outbursts, which happened when Stacy was pregnant with their first child, Catherine, caused her uterus to tear, and Catherine was born prematurely. About a year later, on the 31st of May, 1986, the couple welcomed their second child, Curtis Fairchild Jones. The family of four continued to live in relative happiness, and they cherished the company of one another. Or at least, that was what it seemed like when the two young children were just happy to see their parents around. Beyond what was obvious to the children, Stacy continued to endure physical abuse from Curtis. It is speculated that the children became aware of the situation at some point. Eventually, it all became too much for Stacy to bear, so she packed her things and left home in 1989. Unable to take the then 4-year-old Catherine and 3-year-old Curtis with her, for fear that her mother would reject the children because they were biracial, Stacy left the two children in the care of Curtis Sr. At the time, Stacy thought that she was doing the best thing for her children, but she could not have been further from the truth. With Stacy's departure, what was once a foursome had become a trio, and so the children would learn to adjust to the new arrangement and enjoy.
I have a challenge for all of you. Go to every computer in your house, your mom's, your dad's, your sister, your brother's computer, and install Honey. Wait, Mom.
enjoy the company and attention of their father, but that too would soon be threatened.
Oh man, yo. Come on,
It is
chat.
unclear just how things developed from 1989 when Stacy left Curtis, but by 1994, just 5 years later, she could tell that all was not well with her children. In the 5 years after Stacy left Florida for Kansas, one of Curtis's male relatives had begun living with him and the children. At first glance, this doesn't seem like too much to worry about. After all, family members live together for financial or other reasons at different points in their lives, right? Yeah. Well, the problem with this particular relative that no one was aware of or just chose to ignore was that he had a very concerning criminal history. In addition to spending 6 years in prison for robbery, this unidentified relative was also a registered pedophile. In 1993,
Oh, hell no. And you let this nigga into your house? Knowing this? Bro, ain't no way I'm finna let, like criminal, I can understand, you know, robbery, you know, people make mistakes, this, that, and the third. But pedophiles, bro? And you let them around your children, bro, your 12 and 13-year-old, well, they were probably younger at the time when he moved in. But, bro, come on, man. Like, what?
This unidentified relative was also a registered pedophile. In 1993, just a year before suspicions began to arise, this relative had been convicted of sexual crimes involving his then-girlfriend's daughter, who was 14 years old at the time.
Yo, come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. Like, I hate niggas like, bro, I cannot stand niggas like this, bro. Like, what the fuck? All these beautiful overage women, you know, 18, 21 and up women, and you want to go for a whole, you got a whole girl, you going for a 14-year-old, bruh? Like,
sexual crimes involving his then-girlfriend's daughter, who was 14 years old at the time. In 1994, when Catherine and Curtis visited their mother in Kansas for the holidays, Curtis revealed to Stacy that he had been enduring abuse at the hands of this relative. Curtis Jr., being the only other male in the house, had to share a room with the relative, and according to him, he was being fondled by the older man.
Bro,
as it turns out, Catherine was also suffering the same fate, but it is unclear whether she spoke up at this time. Following Curtis's statements, reports were made and an investigation began, but records show that investigations into the case were closed after young Curtis changed his story, saying it had been a lie, most likely under compulsion or fear. That might have been the single mistake marking the point where everything began to go wrong.
Nah, because again, he has history of this shit, bro. So it's like, bro, like, I don't know if he's been with boys or girls. It don't even matter. It's just the fact that it's a child, bro. Like, this nigga's
wrong. On the part of Curtis, his parents, and the authorities,
Chat.
if someone had done something a little differently, things might have turned out much better than they did. Sadly, that was not the case, and a huge tragedy was in sight. In the meantime, Curtis and Catherine continued to suffer physical and sexual abuse, with short-lived periods of outspokenness and quests for justice. Records show that 2 years later, in 1996, another case regarding the Jones children was opened. An investigation was undertaken concerning Curtis sustaining a bruised and swollen eye. It is uncertain just how far this investigation went and if any substantial findings or actions were made, but judging from the fact that things continued in the same abusive manner in the Jones household, it is very unlikely. Just months before the murder, in September of 1998, a third investigation was started. This time it was concerning Catherine. The 13-year-old girl had run away from home, and her school teacher, being worried for her welfare, made a report stating concerns that Catherine was being taken sexual advantage of. An investigation was opened, and authorities admitted to finding some indicators that Catherine was being sexually abused. However, like the ones before it, the investigation was short-lived. According to Catherine...
Wait, see, that's what I'm trying to say, like, bro, like, police gotta do y'all job, bro. Y'all gotta do more into these stories as far as, like, really going, interviewing her and just figure out what the hell is going on so y'all can stop the, like, come on, bro. Y'all visiting his family a lot for the same reason. So, like, what more do you need? Like, come on, get this nigga out of here, yo.
She had previously tried to tell her father of the abuse, but he did not believe her and took the side of the relative in question. By the time the investigations began, Curtis Sr. intimidated Catherine into lying to the officials and denying that the abuse ever occurred. Also, frightened by the possibility of being separated from her family, Catherine gave in and the investigations were brought to a stop. Despite not diving deep into the situation, as many believe that they should have, investigators reportedly warned Curtis Sr. about his relative living with the family, given the criminal history of this relative and the danger he posed to the children.
Like, bro, like y'all just now said, come on, man, like this shit, yo.
While trouble in the form of investigation was warded off in the Jones household, trouble continued to brew within. Both Curtis and Catherine were still being taken sexual advantage of by the family member. And it seemed like their father and his girlfriend, Nicole Speights, who had begun living with the family, could not be any less alarmed about the situation at hand. The siblings soon found companionship and solidarity with one another, with Catherine revealing that Curtis was the only one who believed her when she came out with the sexual allegations against their relative. He said that he believed her because it happened to him too. The breaking point for Catherine, according to her, was when a few days after the last investigation was closed, she was taking a shower. The relative in question came into the bathroom, pulled the shower curtains open, and began masturbating.
What? People get aroused off shit like this, bro. Like, that shit is crazy to me, bro. This literally, bro, what? Do y'all hear this right now?
In question came into the bathroom, pulled the shower curtains open, and began masturbating. The traumatized Catherine huddled in the corner of the bathroom and sobbed until he was done. When he was done, he left 50 cents on the top of the toilet seat for Catherine. After the incident, Catherine wrote in her diary, "I'm going to kill everyone." She was angry that she and her brother's cries for help were going unanswered by her father and his girlfriend.
Exactly, just getting completely ignored, and like the family members just, like, why are y'all protecting this dude, bro? Like, y'all know this nigga history, this, that, and the third, y'all still let him around your kids. Your kids telling you what he's doing, and y'all just fucking ignoring them, bro? Like, what kind of parents are y'all, dog?
She and her brother's cries for help were going unanswered by her father and his girlfriend. And so she concluded that they deserved to die alongside their abuser. Catherine eventually told Curtis about her desires to end the adults' lives, and the pair began plotting to bring this dream to life. They were going to free themselves from torment by killing their abuser and eliminating the chance of this event ever happening again by killing the people they believed allowed the abuse to occur in the first place. On the 6th of January 1999, the siblings' plan was set into motion, with their father briefly stepping out of the house and their abuser not expected to be back until later that evening. The children were home alone with Nicole. Hoping to receive minimal opposition by killing one person at a time, with no one else in the house, the two set out.
Oh, shit. Like,
the 29-year-old...
This is about to get crazy, bro. And, like, how do y'all feel about these kids doing this shit? I feel like, bro, if the parents would have just... If the mama... Like, you know, like, bro, like, I mean, there's nothing stronger than a mama's love, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? But, I mean, but it's his, well, never mind, because that's his girlfriend. It's not their, like, her kids. But it's just like, bro, like, all this shit could have got avoided if you would have just never let the dude in the house. Period, bro. Like, period, bro. Like, yes, it was abuse going on around the house and this, that, and the third, but it wasn't no damn sexual abuse, bro. Like, what?
Year-old Sonia Nicole Speights sat at the dining room table, working on a 500-piece jigsaw puzzle while the children went and retrieved their weapon of choice, their father's 9mm semi-automatic pistol. Catherine took the first shot, hitting Nicole in her stomach. However, she dropped the gun due to the rebound of the shot she fired. Curtis picked up the gun and ran wild.
Earnest is a private student loan company that's on a mission to help students pay for college. And their loans are super clear and you get quick.
Shooting at Nicole and all her surroundings. In all, 9 bullets were fired, 4 which fatally wounded Nicole. As soon as the shots were fired and Curtis caught his breath, reality set in, and he began to freak out at the realization that he had killed someone. This wasn't just some fantasy in our heads anymore. It was real, Catherine said in an interview. Catherine did her best to calm her brother down, and the pair set to work in an attempt to clean up the scene. They dragged Nicole's body away from the dining room and tried to use bleach to clean up the bloodstains. After that, the two tried their best to make it look like a robbery had occurred, and then they fled the house, stopping briefly at their neighbors to tell them that they had shot the gun by accident. Having tied loose ends up to the best of their ability, Catherine and Curtis hid in the woods nearby their house.
They hid in the woods, boy. Shit.
It is unclear just who alerted the police about Nicole's death. However, it is likely to be the neighbors whom Curtis and Catherine confessed to, or perhaps Curtis Sr. came home to his girlfriend's dead body and alerted the authorities. Either way, the police were alerted and investigations began. One could say that this was the only investigation into the happenings at the Jones household that ever yielded any actual results. Learning from the witness reports of the neighbors that Curtis and Catherine were responsible for the murder, the police went in search for them. The children were eventually found on the morning of the 7th of January 1999. They were in the woods near their house, where they had hidden for the night. And now reality and the consequences of their actions were staring them in the face. At the ages of 12 and 13, Curtis and Catherine were the youngest people to be charged as adults for first-degree murder. If found guilty, which was very likely to happen, they were to be sentenced to life in prison. However, seeing as they were very young, prosecutors were able to strike a deal with the children, allowing them to be tried for second-degree murder, which had a sentence of only 18 years in probation for life. This deal also meant that there was not going to be a proper trial of the children's case. No witnesses, no evidence, nothing. Young, inexperienced, and scared, the children accepted the deal. Through all of this, neither Catherine nor Curtis spoke up about the real reasons for their actions, most likely anticipating that they would not be believed, as it had happened in the past. It soon became widely accepted that they killed Nicole out of spite for taking all of their father's attention away from them, and because he had planned to marry her. The media and other onlookers believed that the children feared that their father's relationship with Nicole would affect the current dynamic they had with their mother. Alan Landman, Curtis's lawyer, said about their silence, "It's almost like they had a pact of silence, and for some reason, they thought that that would help them." He said that had he been aware of the abuse at the time of the trial, they could have had a much better opportunity at getting a better sentence.
Right.
However, Mayor Todd Goodyear, an official at the Brevard County Sheriff's Office, firmly believed that the children's actions were inexcusable. In his words, "There are a lot of people who have been abused and didn't do something like this. At some point, you have to take responsibility."
Abused and sexually assaulted, multiple, like throughout the years, bro. Like, come on, man. Like he only said that because he ain't been through nothing like that, bro. So him as an adult, of course, he's not gonna feel no type of way. But them as children. Come on, man. They're kids.
For your actions. And they did pay the price for their actions. In August of 1999, now aged 13 and 14 years old, Curtis and Catherine were each sentenced to 18 years in prison, followed by a lifetime of probation.
Damn, boy.
There didn't seem to be much activity in the siblings' prison lives for the most of their first decade in prison. In 2004, however, Curtis gained a short taste of freedom when Hurricane Francis wreaked havoc on the facility where he was being held. Age 19 at the time, Curtis and several other teenagers fled the juvenile detention center, but their freedom was short-lived, and they were recaptured just 24 hours later. As punishment, his sentence was extended by 318 days. 5 years later, in 2009, the truth of the circumstances surrounding the murder came to light. In an interview with the Florida Today newspaper, Catherine revealed that she and her brother were taken sexual advantage of, and their frustrations led them to murdering Nicole.
Right.
Catherine expressed regret for taking Nicole's life, but also mentioned that she was relieved when she got to prison. She said, "I know it sounds like really messed up, but there was a point where I was just away from all that, and I was by myself, and I was safe." Catherine also revealed in the interview that she had only seen her brother once since they were imprisoned. The siblings used to communicate by mail, but that stopped when Curtis was moved to a new prison facility, and the warden said it was unacceptable for them to communicate as they were co-defendants in the case. Ramus Fleming, a U.S. Navy senior, read a 2009 story and was touched by Catherine's experiences. He reached out to her in writing, and the two became pen pals. The pair sparked a romance through their letters and got married in November 2013 at the Hernando Correctional Institution Chapel. Catherine was 28 years old at the time she got married to Ramus. Ramus himself soon began making plans and adjustments to allow him to support his wife better, as she was soon to be released from prison. Around the time that Catherine was to be released, Ramus retired as a naval officer to allow him more time to walk her through life outside of prison, as a lot had changed.
Yeah, I was just about to say, because with her being 13 and now being 28, 29 damn near, it's a whole lot different in the world now. So it's kind of like... I get what he's doing. You know, he's trying to get her to just like, you know, learn the life of freedom again. Know what I'm saying? You get to do this, you get to do that. Know what I'm saying? He's pretty much trying to be there for her the second that she gets out of prison, as he should.
Since she was 13 years old.
Right.
After serving a little over 85% of their original sentence, Catherine and Curtis
YouTube
were released from prison. The exact date of Catherine's release
what the hell?
is uncertain, but she was released roughly 2 weeks before her brother Curtis, who was released on the 28th of July, 2015. The two were aged 30 and 29 years old, respectively. Curtis left prison as an ordained Christian minister and has gone on to continue his life as one. Catherine, on the other hand, has gone after a more traditional life. Unfortunately, her marriage with Ramus did not work out too well, but she has forged ahead and has so much to be grateful for. She received a presidential academic scholarship for school and will be able to attend college as long as she can maintain a 3.75 GPA. Catherine is also contributing efforts to ensure fair sentencing of young people. Both Curtis and Catherine are working hard at adapting to the technological and social changes that occurred in the 16 years that they were in prison, while also making sure that they do not violate the rules of their probation. So far, all appears to be going smoothly. Thanks for tuning in to Twisted Minds. That was the case of Catherine and Curtis Jones. Why don't you go ahead and click on one of the two videos on your screen.
Shouts out to Catherine and her and Curtis, bro. Like, again, bro, they spent majority of their whole childhood in prison, bro. And then when they got out, they still was like, you know, they still they're pretty much still trying to better their life. Even with them having being on probation for life, is better than being in prison for your life. And I'm like, rest in peace to Nicole. But I really feel like they should have got the guy that was sexually abusing them, bro. Like, whoever that family member is, bro, he need to get out of here, bro. Cause ain't no telling who he's doing that to next, or who he did to them within the time that they was in prison, like who he did that to again. Know what I'm saying? Like, this guy, like, I hate weirdos like that, bro. Like, for real, man. But tell me how you guys feel about this video, man. Like, it was crazy, man. 12-year-old killers, bro. And now they're out now, just living a good, well, I'm pretty sure they're probably living a good life. It's 2023 now, so it'll be good to know what they're doing now, man. Cause like, again, like, this was a real interesting story, man. Like, wow, bro. Wow, bro. Like, share, comment, subscribe, gang. Tell me how you guys feel about this video, gang. And make sure you guys, again, like, let me know what to react to next, man. Send me some links in the comment section or to one of my social medias. And I'll definitely be back, gang. And SRT, gang, I am out this thing, man. Let's get it.